Hello everyone, I hope you are all well. Today's video is for those of you who need to learn to let go and trust. Trust that everything is actually always working out for you. To learn how to surrender to the universe, because when you know this and you know how to trust those negative thoughts, all of those negative limiting beliefs will dissipate and life will get easier and easier and easier for you. I'm going to share with you that you truly are a limitless and extremely powerful person, and how to learn to trust your inner guide, to trust yourself, your intuition. You will no longer turn away from it, but you will learn how to embrace it and learn to listen to it throughout your entire life, as it is truly your guide to the life that you deserve. I'm going to share some relatable stories of how I finally learned to trust 100%, to surrender, knowing that everything truly is always working out. And these will include love, money, and relatable stories about life itself. So stay tuned, because this will truly and finally allow you to live a life that flows so easily and effortlessly when you know how to do this, when you know how to trust that everything is always working out for you and everything is always working out in your favor. It will enable your manifestations to come to you without effort. And I know how it feels. I know how it feels, especially from how I used to live my life, feeling like I was always fighting for survival, fighting for that thing that I wanted, to be seen, to get a life that I truly deserve, the love, the kindness, the finances. And I know that I'm not the only one out there that is currently experiencing this or has experienced this. So if this is you, then this video is for you. But before I go into that, guys, I'm Natalie. I am a manifestation coach and a neurotransformation therapy practitioner. And my channel, As the Pennies Drop, is created to guide you to having a life that you love, a life that you deserve, and a life that you are desiring. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then it would be really cool if you could click that subscribe button. All of your subscriptions, all of your comments mean the absolute world to me. And also know that I do offer a variety of one-on-one coaching solutions, sessions with me, programs, self-study courses, all about guiding you to manifesting the life that you deserve, to have the love, the finances, the abundance that you deserve. So you can find out more about me or about the services that I offer just by clicking the link below, or you can email me if you have any questions at natalie@asthepenniesdrop.com. Okay, so let's get into the video. Now, I'm not sure how long this video is going to take, to be honest with you guys. So you might want to press pause and go and grab that cup of coffee or make that cup of tea and just sit back and relax while I go through this. So once this video is completed, there is absolutely only one thing for you to do, and it's to start to apply this to your life. It is so easy. And I know, because I used to do this and I've done videos about this. It is so easy to listen and to take on board all of these manifestation videos on YouTube, but without applying the knowledge we are all sharing, all of us on YouTube are sharing with you. Yes, you will be extremely knowledgeable. Yes, you will know a lot about manifesting. But if you aren't applying this, you're not going to see things transform in your life. So it's about applying the knowledge that you have learned to transform the life, to get the life that you truly, truly deserve. So I'm going to start here by talking about the ego. Now, you can call it the ego, you can call it your mental diet, your programmed mind. It really doesn't matter. It's how you choose to phrase it. So for today's video, I'm literally going to be talking about and calling it and phrasing it the programmed mind. So from the years of 0 to 7, your mind is like a sponge, soaking up everything around you, from what you see, from what you're hearing, and basically the entire environment that you are growing up in. Now, during this time, Those of you that you are surrounded with, and like I said, your entire environment in life is all forming a basis of the creation of your programmed beliefs about yourself and about life in general. So what forms as your program is then the program that you live by. It is what determines how you see yourself as you get older, how people treat you, the education that you experience, the friends that you have, the relationships, the loving relationships, your career, how you view money, how little or a lot of money you have. If you have not already worked on yourself yet with a self-love practice to revise this program, this will be how you're currently living your life. This program with these beliefs that have stemmed from your childhood will be exactly how you are living your life, whether that's good stuff or not so good stuff. So this program, as I said, will define you. It will define your reality. And you only have to look outside of you as to how you are currently being treated by people, how you're being treated in your loving relationships, what type of friends you have, what career you have, and what your finances are. All of this plays a part in the beliefs that you have held on to unconsciously since childhood. Now, because these beliefs are so far embedded in you, you don't actually see them as beliefs. You just see that this is how it is. It just feels natural for you, that this is your lot in life, as it were. So, like I said, it feels natural for you. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Because of this program, because of this programmed mind, you actually do not recognize that there is something within you pulling you to something more, to something better. Obstacles that come your way, people leaving you, are all seen in a negative way to only further hold you back, keeping you stuck in this program. Because of this program mindset, you cannot see that the universe is actually working for you, not against you. You cannot see that there is actually a reason, a healthy reason for these situations occurring. You cannot see that the universe truly does have your back and does want you to win. It's like you are blinded by it because of this programmed mindset. But you know when something feels off. We all do. And this is where the choice comes in, the choice to trust or to ignore. You know when something doesn't feel right. You know when a relationship isn't working. You know when you're not being treated well. You know when you're not being treated with the respect that you deserve. You know when you are surrounded by people that do not respect you. You know when you are in the wrong job. You know when you are not receiving the financial abundance that you desire. You know when you're not being paid enough. You know when you are around negative people that do nothing but make you not feel good about yourself. You know this because of that feeling within you. You know it because of how you feel within you. You know this because of what you are experiencing in your reality. Something is off. Maybe you look around and you see others living a better life than you. Maybe you tell yourself that, well, this is me, this is my lot. And, you're one of those that will always struggle in life. Again, all a part of the programmed mind, which stems from your childhood. If you look at your life right now, maybe there are one or two areas that are working well. Great. Maybe all of them are, even better. But maybe none of them are. Maybe none of them are working for you. Maybe it's time to write down a list of all of these areas of your life that are working and not working for you, and think back to how you were brought up and see if any of this is a reflection of what you experienced then. This is the proof, you see. This is the proof that you are living with a programmed mindset. It's all the proof you need. Now you are aware of this. It is, as I said earlier, your time to do something about it. It is time to take action to apply these changes. A self-love practice. Self-love is the place to start. Creating a healthy self-love practice and healing from your past is going to be your key to the journey to trust in the universe, that it truly does have your back, because it truly does. Let's look at love for a second. Let's say you've been in a toxic relationship that has come to an end. You have two choices on how you view this. One, why did they leave me? Or two, there is a reason I am not with that person now, right now. It is so easy based on the program mind to go in telling yourself that, oh, they left because you're not enough, or because you did this, or because you did that. It's so easy to blame yourself for the split. Believe me, I know. When you look back at this relationship, you know it wasn't healthy. You know it was toxic. And you know it caused you a lot of pain, more pain than maybe you've ever experienced in your entire life. But learning to trust that the universe has your back and focusing on the split in a more positive way is the key to learning to trust the process, and that you are being divinely guided. That there is a lesson here for you, because there is always a lesson. There always is a lesson. It's just whether you're choosing to see the lesson or not see the lesson. You know, this is the same if you have, say you've just lost your job, or you've just been made redundant. Whilst your programmed mind will want to say to you, it's because you're not good enough. You were never good enough at that job, or because you didn't fit in, or because the boss had something against you, or you weren't very liked. You know, the universe would never put you in a situation that did not serve you for the better. It will always feel like it at the time, I guarantee that. But there's always a lesson. There is always a lesson for you if you allow yourself to listen to it. Maybe you've had dreams of being in a healthy, loving relationship. Maybe you've had dreams of following a passion, of having a more fulfilled career. Maybe the relationship or the career that you've been dreaming about, or you've been putting up with, sorry, maybe the relationship or the career where you were putting up with so much less than you deserve was there for you to finally learn to love yourself, to be able to experience a life that you finally deserved. And that's the reason why you were pulled out of it. When you accept less than what you deserve, the universe agrees. It will show you of what you are accepting. But there always comes a time when enough is enough. And it feels like the universe has said, right, we're done. Get them out of here. Get them out of that. Get them out of that job. Get them out of that relationship. Get them out of that situation. It's a kind of a short-term pain for long-term gain. And I hope that makes sense. But it is pulling you out of there, whatever there is, because it knows you are worth so much more than what you are allowing yourself to experience. Then what happens? This is when a self-love practice comes in. When you learn to love yourself, when you learn to see your value, and you know when you are in this new mindset that you would never, ever allow that type of treatment you once allowed ever again. But generally, and what can happen, something that happened to me over and over and over again, is we ignore this. We ignore the lessons to love ourselves. And therefore, like with me, I was going from the frying pan into the fire with loving relationships, with friendships, and with my career. But it was when I said, no more, I am done with this, not quite knowing what the hell was going to happen to me, but I knew that I couldn't go on as things were. I was taken out of a relationship that was beyond toxic and incredibly destructive. I was being slam dunked into something that I had never experienced before, ever experienced before. It was time for me to feel the fear and do it anyway. It was time for me to put all of my focus, all of my energies into me. And it wasn't at this point I properly trusted. I just knew that I was in a situation of sink or swim, and I chose to swim. Little did I know that I was actually being guided. I was actually being pulled, even through the fear, to get me where I am today. For the past 2 years, I released people who no longer served me, and I never looked back. I walked away from a job and with little money in the bank, and I went all in on my business. And I tell you, I was feeling the fear and I was doing it anyway. I focused on me and creating a life that I could be proud of. And I did it solo. And so I thought then. But obviously, I was being guided. I thought about giving up, but the fear of giving up far outgrew the fear of going back to what felt familiar. There was this voice inside of me that kept pushing me along, and I never failed it. Even with tears, I kept moving forwards. With no loving relationship, I had to go all in on me. With a self-love practice, it was time. And I went all in. I finally stopped shying away from me, and I chose me in all aspects of my life. The now confident, abundant me you see before you, which was the complete opposite. I can tell you that was the absolute complete opposite in all areas of my life before this. Even with fear, I kept moving forwards with my business, even when I had no clients, no followers on YouTube. And the money in my bank account was going down and down and down. I kept digging in, I kept digging deep, and I learned to put my focus on what was working. And the more I put my focus on what was working, the more I was being rewarded with more things working. The more I was letting go of the need to having things go a particular way, the more I was letting go of what, the questioning of, well, what about this or what about that? So if I had not experienced that last relationship, I wouldn't be doing what I am today. I wouldn't be a globally successful businesswoman with a rapidly growing business and YouTube channel. I wouldn't be following my dream. I wouldn't be following my passion. I wouldn't be financially abundant. If it were not for that relationship, I would still be where I was, living my program of, let's just call it the not enoughness program. I wouldn't have studied. I wouldn't have gone all in to understand why things were happening to me. I wouldn't have done the inner work. I wouldn't have learned my value and my worth. I wouldn't have learned to love myself if it hadn't been for that relationship. I had to be pulled out of that relationship because my lesson was screaming at me to learn to love myself. And it's clear to see all those years later, obviously, but not easy then. And that was because of the lack of trust that I had in the universe. So rather than saying, this is happening for me, I was then choosing, why me? But the more my life changed, the more I changed, the more I learned to trust that life was happening for me, not to me. My eyes opened, the fog lifted and started to lift. I could feel I was receiving the love and guidance from the universe. And that truly everything is always working out for me and in my favor. And it is for you too. If you will just allow it, you get to choose, you see. Why is this happening to me? Or why is this happening for me? My life genuinely gets better and better and better with more love, more kindness, friendships, my business, my clients, my financial abundance. And I'm well aware of energies now. I follow my inner guide. I follow how I feel, my intuition. I know what feels right, and I allow that feeling, and I know what feels wrong for me, and I pull away from that. I pull away from those feelings now that don't feel right, that don't sit well with me. You see, when you ignore your inner guidance, that feeling within you, you are ignoring that feeling within, that whisper saying, come this way, come this way. See, and what happens is your experience in life will be that of ignoring. It will be that of struggle. It will be that of efforting. It will be that of resistance. Now, even when there are what appear to be huge obstacles in the way, I truly know and trust that no matter what, everything is working out for me. And this really hardened into fact when I was in Ibiza, September this year. So I'm going to finish this video sharing a story of what happened to me, because it truly felt like the spiritual awakening I needed to trust and know I now and 100% believe with absolute certainty that everything is always working out for me, and the universe truly does have my back and is always guiding me and always protecting me. Okay, so I try to keep this as short and sweet as possible to get to the point of how I finally, without doubt, learned to trust that the universe truly does have my back. So I get to Ibiza. I'm out there to see a client and to work. And I have my car, which is an automatic, which I'm not used to driving automatic, so I was a bit bunny hoppy. But I get to a place, a point of destination, where the person from this villa was supposed to be coming to meet me. And they came to meet me. And instantly, I saw this person and I was like, hello. And instantly, this person was negative and extremely rude towards me. I had to follow this person down kind of a dirt track, which obviously wasn't on the GPS. And I was pretty nervous and scared because I was in a car that I didn't want to damage and wasn't used to driving such a big car. And she was rude about that too. When I said, would you be able to go a bit slower? Got to the villa and I was told that I couldn't go out of one entrance. I had to go out of another entrance or exit with the car at nighttime with no lights, fumbling to unlock and relock these gates, where it sounds ridiculous thinking about it, but you have to be in it to feel it, where she just had the buzzer. I wasn't allowed to do this. I wasn't allowed to do that. The working area was not going to be suitable for me doing my coaching. The whole thing was just wrong. Anytime I asked her a lovely question about anything, she snapped at me, was extremely rude. And I was basically in fear. None of this area, none of what I had imagined had worked out for the villa. I went into the room, I put my stuff in the room, and I didn't sleep a wink all night. But throughout the night, I kept reminding myself that I am guided, protected, safe, secure, and loved. I kept doing what I preach. I kept doing my affirmations, positive affirmations that everything's always working out for me. Everything is always working out in my favor. I'm safe and secure. I'm guided. I'm protected. I'm loved. You know, pressing down on the anxiety that I was feeling because I was in a foreign country and feeling very, very uncomfortable and scared. In the morning, I got out of bed and went to make myself a coffee, and I accidentally, the door got stuck and I accidentally slammed it when I pulled it a bit further. I didn't want the dogs to escape. And I started getting these WhatsApps from this woman, basically having a massive go at me for waking her up, and she was just really rude. And I said, you know, I'm ever so sorry. And she just kept coming back, firing these rude messages back to me. And if there was ever a point of inspired action or when to take inspired action, it was then. So I grabbed my coffee, went back into the room, packed everything up, and went out to the car. And she said, where are you going? I said, I've just got to go. I've got to go back home. Something's happened. I've just got to go back home. I just had to get out of there. The anxiety was building up. The tears were building up. I just had to get out. I left. I know Ibiza fairly well. So I drove myself to the beach and tried to get hold of my client actually to see if he could help. But he actually was going off to a different island that day. So unfortunately, he did all he could, bless him. But I literally got to deal with this. So on the drive to the beach, I just kept reminding myself that the universe is not going to, and I like to see the universe as outside of me. Like I've got this big protection outside of me, even though we are our own universes. So I drove myself to the beach, and on the way to the beach, I just kept telling myself, you know, the universe is not going to slam dunk me in the middle of Ibiza for no reason. It's not going to leave me high and dry. It's not going to do that. I then got to the beach. I sat on the beach. It was about 7:30 in the morning, and I didn't know what to do. So I recorded a YouTube video. And if you haven't seen it, it's the one where I keep pulling my hair because the slight wind is like getting my hair in my face. So that video, I record that video with anxiety, not knowing what was going to happen, but kept reminding myself that I was being protected. And I went to a couple of different hotels, but none of them felt right, because I needed peace and quiet for my clients. I had to keep thinking about my clients, And I thought, well, okay, back up. I've got this big car. If I need to sleep in the car, sleep in the car. So I'm thinking from a solution perspective, not from a problem perspective. You know, if I need to sleep in the car, sleep in the car. I can do my coaching in the car. I can just have the engine on and just keep my phone plugged in and do it that way. I didn't want to let my clients down. And then I started driving towards a place I didn't really want to go to. But I thought maybe that might work. And then I got the idea, knowing that I'm always being divinely guided, that I am protected, that I'm safe, secure, reminding myself that the universe has got my back and always will have my back. And there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason for this. And I had an idea of a place I stayed in a few years ago with my ex-specific person. And I hadn't gone back there because I didn't want to face the memories. But I actually ended up, as I was thinking about this place, I was literally just on the opposite side of the road to where this place was, off the beaten track. And I remembered exactly how to get there. I remembered exactly what turns to take and everything. And this was like over 3 years ago. So I got there and they were incredible. This place was just incredible where I stayed, just absolutely out of this world, beautiful, very retreat-like, very calming. Yeah, very, very beautiful. And they welcomed me with open arms. They looked after me. They made me coffee. And they basically gave me a really good rate. And I ended up going back to the same room that I was in with my ex-specific person. And now I'm thinking, okay, so not only do I have the memories, I got the memories in the room. So I'm thinking, what is the reason for this? I kept saying to myself, there has to be a reason for this. What is the reason for this? What is the reason for this? You know, I literally just had a few minutes to unpack, had a quick swim, and then it was like 6 hours worth of coaching back to back. Yeah, I got through the coaching and glad everything worked well. Really good Wi-Fi. So thank you to all my clients who joined me via Zoom in Ibiza and who know this story. I was also told by the people where I was staying that I could actually get my money back from YouTube too. From the company that I didn't mean YouTube, the company that I'd originally booked the villa with. They said, you know, just give it a go and see what happens. So I called the company, explained what happened, and they said, okay, leave it with us. They came back saying that the hosts don't want to give you your money back. They said they're going to see what they can do. And again, even in that scenario, I remember saying to myself, well, you know I haven't done anything wrong. And I know that the right thing is for me to get a full refund, that I do deserve that full refund, and that I know that the universe is going to get me that because it knows it's the right thing to do. So within about 48 hours, to cut a long story short, I got a deposit back and then I got the full amount back. So I got all of my money back. Again, I'm not resisting it. I didn't have to fight it. I just reminded myself that it was the right thing to do. I told myself it was the right thing to do, that the universe knew it was the right thing to do, that I deserved that money back. I hadn't done anything wrong, that I deserved that money back. And then the other awakenings started to happen. I realized by going into my heart space and asking the questions, why did I have to come back here? And it told me it's because I had to let go of the final piece of the puzzle for my ex-specific person that I didn't actually know I was holding on to. And it was literally through tears, I released that last piece of the puzzle. And then it just felt like this massive weight had lifted off my shoulders, like the fog had lifted. And there's another part of the story where somebody that I'd met last year, who I saw again at the beach, I finally could see him through clear eyes. The fog, the veil, whatever you want to call it, had finally lifted. And I could see this beautiful human being for what he was, the magnetism, the energy. It was incredible. We're very good friends. It was just wonderful to experience that with him. And since then, really, I've completely trusted that the universe, 100% without doubt, has my back. If somebody texts me, they text me. If they don't, they don't. It's all working out for me. Somebody wants to ask me out, they ask me out. They don't, they don't. It's all working out for me. Everything is working out for me. No matter what happens, everything is working out for me. There's always something that I need to learn, and I don't resist it. There's no point resisting it, because the universe has got my back. It's always going to want me to win. And like I said, it didn't want to slam dunk me in the middle of Ibiza for no reason. I had to follow what was being told to me in here. And it was to go back to that place, to release that final piece of the puzzle, to let go, to finally release the fog, the veil that I didn't even know was there, hovering over me. And I could start to see clearly. So now I don't question negatively anymore. I just ask, what do I need to know about this? What is my lesson, and what is the purpose of me experiencing this? Sometimes now I don't even have to ask, because I just instinctively know. So this is how to trust and let go. And this is how you can, along with a self-love practice, release those old thoughts, those old beliefs, no matter what is happening to you right now, knowing that if you let go and allow, the universe will always deliver bigger and better than you can possibly even imagine. And when at the time it feels like it's the absolute opposite that's happening, it is there saying, trust me, I love you, and I'm here to guide you. It's going to be okay, more than okay. Remind yourself of this when you have those anxieties. I am safe. I am secure. I am guided. I am divinely guided. I am protected, and I am loved. Use it whenever you need that reminder, or if you wake up anxious, or you just want to feel that arm of the universe wrapping around you. I really, really, truly hope that this has resonated with you and that you enjoy this video. And now it's time to apply the trust. So please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back very, very soon, guys.